What up, everyone? What up? What up? So it is Easter. We here at doing Easter today. Hope everyone's doing well at Easter, and I hope you guys aren't eating all that Easter chocolate, the candies. I hope you guys aren't doing that stuff for Easter. Easter is Jesus' day. It's resurrection day when he risen. You know, it's not the day for the Easter rabbit, and it's not a day for you to eat a bunch of chocolate and Easter eggs and all that stuff. That's for kids, man. All right, that's definitely for kids. It's not meant for you. All right, and to be honest with you, none of that stuff was even in the Bible. So what are you doing eating candy and Easter eggs and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? That's why you got type 2 diabetes. That's the only thing that thing's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But overall, with that said, how y'all doing today? You know what I'm saying? So let's see. I got the protein powder for Easter. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what you need to be doing. That's the same thing here. That's the same thing I did. My chocolate for Easter was a chocolate protein powder. That's it. And it's the only thing I had all day today is just a protein shake, chocolate protein. That's it. That's the only chocolate I'm messing with, but not no candy, man. Candy's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Hello. Like he said that. I like that. That's awesome. That's motivation right there. That's someone who takes this shit seriously. But listen, the reason I'm coming on today is for really for this. When it comes to candy, stuff like that, like have some control. It's not a day to go binge on candy because all it's going to do is spike up your blood sugar levels and you're going to add in unnecessary calories, especially if you're someone who's struggling to lose body fat. Okay, if you're struggling to lose body fat, don't use holidays for days to give yourself a free card. This is when discipline really comes into play. I tell a lot of my clients this all the time because fitness needs to be part of a lifestyle. And the problem sometimes is when people they hesitate joining programs, right? They hesitate to start training, start working with a trainer or a nutritionist is because of holidays. Everyone's always making an excuse for something, but they never want to start. It's like you don't want diabetes, but you don't want to stop eating candy. You know what I'm saying? You want to get in shape, but you don't want to work out. You want to lose body fat, but you want to continue eating the same bullshit that you're always eating. You know what I'm saying? It's always a yin and a yang, and it's not even that much of a yang because there's no balance. It's just like people do not want to sacrifice and give up and be uncomfortable to be able to achieve the goals that they need to be. They feel that the situation in their life has to be perfect with no distractions, no problems happening for them to be able to achieve their goals. And to be honest with you, life is not like that. It's definitely not like that. You definitely want to start your journey when there's things going on because that's how you're going to train that muscle. You're going to train discipline. Discipline is like a muscle. A lot of times I get on phone calls with a lot of prospects and clients. Guess what? The biggest roadblock they always tell me when it comes to health and fitness, when it comes to losing body fat, building muscle, eating healthier, reversing diabetes, improving their A1C levels, their cholesterol levels, all that stuff. They always say personal discipline. They always say that. It's always the same. It's rare if I hear anything else. If it's like skills or environment, it's really rare. 9 out of 10 is usually personal discipline. And to build personal discipline, the only way you're going to train that muscle is when it's under stress. It's just like this. Like you think I build these muscles from like just lifting light weight or under stress? Under stress. It was painful. It was tough. It was hard. There's days I don't want to go to the gym. those are the days when I was able to build the most mass. Even today, I worked out twice. All right, I worked out twice. I worked out with two of my clients. I did legs. I did some back and buys early this morning. I just literally came back from training one of my other clients, so I went and visit 3 people. And it's something that I do as a little courtesy for my clients. I like training with them or train them, even though I do online coaching. I like to train with them, especially if they're local, because it's a good way to connect. People want that community, and as well, I'm able to really help them with the form and technique. You know what I'm saying? And and guess what? Like did I want to wake up super early and it's Sunday, it's 4:20. I have family over. Did I want to do all this stuff? Not really. If I had a choice, not really. But I do have a choice. But my why is bigger than anything else. It's because I like the people I train. I like my community that I've built. I like connecting with others, and I enjoy training. All right. And I know by doing this, it's going to benefit me and them because I want them to accomplish their goals. So if they see that I'm always showing up, they're going to show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm leading by example. And that's what I like to do. There's coaches right now who's taking days off. They're eating candy. They're eating shit, But for me, I like to show up and just lead by example because I know it's tough. It's hard to live in a world of misfits. All right. I'm telling you, it's hard to live in a world of misfits. It's very hard to live in a world where everyone's eating crap. They're always using excuses to do what they want and living in their mind of something when it comes to not achieving their goals. Like they want to achieve it, but they don't want to take action. We live in a world that a lot of people don't like taking action and be serious. You know what I'm saying? So let me read some of these comments. So one second. Toa said, your friend, I wanted to turn vegan. How do I plan my diet? So you're asking, how do you plan your diet to go vegan? Easy. Just the first thing you can do is just eliminate all meat products and eat plants. Boom, you're already vegan. As simple as that. That grocery aisle called the produce section. Just start shopping there more frequently. That's a good start. But on a real note, what you want to do is basically very simple. So first, let's say you want to look at all the foods that you normally eat, right? And then when you see the foods that you normally eat, then you want to try to find an alternative, okay? That's going to be the first thing you want to do. Find an alternative. So if you love steak and beef, find a vegan steak and beef. I don't even care what it is. And don't listen to all these people online and it's unhealthy. Everyone has their journey, okay? You have to kind of go through the rough. You have to go through the bushes until you find the gem, right? So it's first, don't focus on healthy, unhealthy. Just focus on slowly transitioning, right? So what you want to do first is, if you like steak, right? Eat meaty, all right? Eat meaty is a mushroom steak. It's very healthy, okay? And that's a great replacement for steak. If you like chicken, Eat Meaty has a vegan chicken as well. Also, Gardein has chicken too. So Daring chicken, you can do that. Those are some great alternatives. If you love eggs, you have Wonder Eggs. All right, that's a vegan brand. You have Just Eggs, and then you have tofu. And with the tofu scramble, you can check out my YouTube channel. I have the whole recipe there. I haven't had one person yet say that my tofu scramble was trash. Everyone loved it. Even people who eat meat and they actually tried it. They had an open mind and they tried it. They were like, man, it's fire. You know what I'm saying? They realize why it's so good and why they rave about it, right? So that's another thing. Fish. Try Gardein fish fillets. That's a good way to start. What else is there? Pork, right? For example, if you love pork, like bacon, there's vegan bacon. There's different types. So you have the light, Light Life, which they have that tempeh bacon. Okay, that's a great alternative when it comes to bacon. And then you also have Light Life bacon strips, which is like I think it's made out of pea protein. So they have like an alternative version when it comes to sausages. You have Beyond Meat. They have the sausages, pork sausages, which is fire. It's actually pretty good. It's really like they do everything close to the real thing when it comes to the sausage. My one of my favorites is going to be the Field Roast sausages. They have two types. They have the apple mini sausages. It's like an apple flavored one, and then they have like the Frankfurters. Now the apple and I think it's like apple and sage, and then the which is mini. The macros are perfect, but when it comes down to the Frankfurters, the protein's very high, a lot higher than any type of sausage you're going to find. Okay, so I highly recommend getting the Frankfurters because I believe last time I checked, it was about 30 grams of protein. It's somewhere between 20 and 30 grams of protein. Okay, so those are some great alternatives, and just start off with that, and then everything else, like let's say your vegetable intake. I'm trying to break this down as best as possible. So if you're transitioning to a plant-based diet, when it comes to your plant-based intake, like when it comes to your produce, this is talking about like your vegetables and your fruits. Those two items, I say double and triple those amounts. Like really ramp it up. Like so if you're eating like kale or spinach, you only eat a little bit, double, triple, quadruple that amount because you have to eat a lot of greens to get a lot of vitamins and minerals. Okay. Then when it comes down to your fruits, aim for more berries, like really double, triple, quadruple the amount of berries that you eat, like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. Eat a lot of it. Do a mixture of all of them because they're low in calories, high in nutrients. Okay. And then with your nuts and seeds, think about small amounts of that. Okay. Because it is high in fat. So small amounts of your nuts and seeds. Also incorporate some avocados in there. And then when it comes to your grains and legumes, see the problem is when most people go plant-based, they usually double or triple the amount on the carb, on like high carb sources like rice and beans. They and then they're trying to get all the protein from that. This is a big no-no because what's happening is that rice and beans, even though they're healthy for you, they are very high in calories. And the problem is that if you're trying to get all your protein from that, for example, let's say black beans, 1 cup of black beans, you'll get about 20 grams of protein, but you're also going to get 40 grams of carbohydrates. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to get let's say 100 grams of protein, to get that amount, you're going to be eating tons of cups of beans, right? About 5 cups of beans. But then on top of that, you're going to get about 200 grams of carbs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and if you're someone who's trying to lose body fat, your calories are going to be like off the roof, and you're not going to be in an actual deficit. Okay. So this is something that a lot of people do fall into that trap. Same thing like when people try to get a lot of their protein from a fat source like almonds or peanut butter, right? There's protein in it. But let's say 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is only about 5 grams, 3 to 5 grams of protein versus 15 grams of fat. All right. And fat is very high in calories. 1 gram of fat is about 9 calories. So imagine if you're trying to get about only 50 grams, your calorie intake is going to be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people do mess that up when it comes to replacing their protein because they're taking their standard American diet mindset of how they look at food when it comes to meat. And then they're trying to transition that where meat is a lean protein source, right? If you're getting lean cut meats, like you're going to get let's say 4 ounces of chicken, lean cut, you get about 30, 40 grams of protein, but maybe 2 to 3 grams of fat and 0 carbs. You know what I'm saying? So the macros are completely different. And people try to take that chicken and then convert it into broccoli or convert it into black beans, and then they're eating ridiculous amounts. Okay. So this this is where you don't want to fall into that trap. So hopefully that helps. Okay, but if you do need any more help with that, especially this question came from Instagram, you can go to in the stories, go in my stories and comment vegan muscle or new vegan, and you should get a link from my AI bot. Should send you a link, because I think as long as you comment that, you should get a link sent to one of my ebooks, and it goes over like what I just spoke. But hopefully that helps you out. Okay. Let's see. Alex Brooks says, I've been plant-based for over 20 years. I'm still surprised of my fitness, cognitive abilities, and a life with no pain or sickness. That's great, Alex. I'm really glad to hear that. They've been vegan for so long. You've been vegan longer than me, man. That's amazing. Let's see. And I'm going to answer just a few more questions. Hey, Corinne, you are a great YouTuber because you speak the facts to expose these idiotic animal-based meat eaters. Good job, Corinne. Thank you, man. I totally appreciate it. And then Maria said, my husband loved it, and he's not vegan. It's very good. I guess you mean like some of the protein options, or the tofu. I love my bookies. 10 says, where do you get your recipe from? You can find the recipes on my website at bodyhdfitness.com. And I have a book right here called Macro Mastery. Okay. It has 70 plus recipes. That's all macro friendly. So it's going to show you everything from tofu scrambles to high protein pancakes to like cookies, fun smoothies that you make, cauliflower, chicken, whole bunch of stuff. All right. It's really good. And I highly recommend, I mean, you could get the printed version, but I do highly recommend getting the digital version. The reason is because the digital version is interactive and it's cheaper, and you get, and when I mean interactive, there's video content connected to all the videos. And with the actual book, the printed version, unless you like something in your hand, the printed version isn't interactive. It doesn't have QR. You probably like, Corinne, why didn't you put the QRC code? Well, the reason is because the time I put this out for print, the QRC codes just came out, because I finished this book like during COVID, and during COVID, the QRC codes were just started to become popular, because when they were out, they weren't really that popular. No one was using it until COVID. And so the books were already done, finished. I was already at the final stages, and I just wanted the book to come out. So that was the main reason why. But I am working on a new cookbook, and the new cookbook, the printed versions will have QRC codes where you can just scan it and watch the videos that way. And the ebooks will still continue to be interactive. Okay. Let's see. Dahang says, thanks, Corinne. I never was a big fruit eater, but we'll take your advice specifically more on the berries. Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah. And here's the thing, like, don't just take the advice, like also use MyFitnessPal. Like, I highly recommend use MyFitnessPal and track what you're eating so you can understand vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, calories, and macros. And you can see how much you're actually incorporating, and then you can kind of work on that. And here's the good news too. When it comes to the cookbook shows you how to create your own calories and macros. Because if you just put it in MyFitnessPal and you just put in your goals, it's just going to spit up some numbers, right? But in the cookbook, it uses the formula that I use for all my students. And you just have to actually just sit down, read it, and apply it. And you'll get all the answers that you need. And then when you have your answers, when it comes to calories and macros, just plug that into MyFitnessPal. Don't use the MyFitnessPal calories and macros. Use the one that you calculate on your own, and then go ahead and move forward from there. Okay. And then Pet Freddy says, your coaching is great, even though I'm not vegan. Hey, that's amazing, man. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. But with that said, I think that's all the questions. So I just want to come up on here, speak some really just talk a little bit of shit about eating candy on Easter. And that's it. But with that said, hey, enjoy this Sunday, enjoy Resurrection Day, enjoy spending some time with your family and friends. If it's nice and hot outside and a clear day, get some sun, get that vitamin D, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Peace.